Hey folks, this is Mr. Fish and we are going to create our 3D printable bookmark. I'm going to assume that you're already logged in to Tinkercad and in your designs dashboard right over here. If you are not, go ahead and get there and then join us. We are going to start by pressing on the Create button and we are going to choose 3D Design. Now the very first thing, of course, is to give your project a name that makes sense. So I am going to call this Bookmark Tutorial because that's exactly what it is. And in order to create the base for our bookmark, we are going to use a special shape. We're going to start off with a very special shape called a soft box. If we were to use our regular box right here, it would have these really pointy edges, and I don't know, I just think curved edges are a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on our magnifying glass right here, which is our search shape. Make sure you are in the community section and you are going to search for the term soft space box. I hit return. The one you are looking for is this yellow thing right here. If you hover over it, it will be called softbox. Go ahead and click and drag one into your workspace. And then we can close our search box by clicking on that X there. Now for our softbox, we have all sorts of different things that we can set over here in our details area. We are going to give our softbox the following dimensions. 50, and these represent millimeters, so we're going to do 50 millimeters in the X dimension. We are going to do 100 millimeters in the Y direction, 2 millimeters in the Z direction, which is going to flatten everything out. And then finally, we want this to be completely filled in, so we are going to give it a measurement of 50 for the wall, or the wall thickness. And there you have it. We have our base for a great bookmark. Okay, so now the goal is we are going to create the cutout along the bottom edge of the bookmark. Bear with me here because this takes a couple of steps. The first thing we're going to do is duplicate what we've already created. So I'm going to click on it to make sure that it is selected, and I'm going to click on our duplicate button. That's the one right up here next to the trash can. So I'm going to duplicate it. Now there's two of these, one laying right on top of each other. And I am going to move our second one off to the side by pressing my right arrow key. That's just going to slide the second one over, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to change the dimensions of this second one. So back here in our details box, we're going to change our dimensions to 44x. We're going to go to 55y, and we're going to keep the 2z, but we are going to change the wall to 2, which does what? It makes it a 2 millimeter wall all the way around. Okay, now we want to cut the top off of this. We don't want it to be a square. We want it to be like a U. So I'm going to grab a transparent box. This is a box that functions as a hole, and we're going to drag that onto the top left edge corner of our softbox that we just created, just like that. We kind of want it covering the whole curve until this vertical wall starts to straighten out. Okay? And we want to drag this. We want to make it larger so that it extends all the way across the softbox. And the way to do that is I'm going to grab the little black handle on the right hand side, of our box, and I am going to stretch it all the way across. Now I'm going to click out to deselect it and draw a box around just these two objects to select both of them. Right here it says that we have two shapes selected, and then I am going to click on the group button. Look at that, just like that, we have a U. Terrific. Now I'm going to click on that U. Currently it is a solid, but we want to cut this part away from our bookmark. So we are going to change it from a solid to a hole. Okay, great. Now we have to line these things up. So once again, I am going to click and drag a box around both of these items to select them. And I am going to use something called the alignment tool. This is the alignment tool right here. I'm going to click on that. And I want these two items to be centered to one another. So I am going to click on the handle that is at the very top, centered between the two of them, okay? And it'll give me a little preview of what that's going to look like. So that looks right to me, so I'm going to click it, and it's going to center those things together. I also want to make sure that they are lined up on the bottom of each other. So that's this right here. It's already grayed out, but if yours is not grayed out right here, then you want to click this one on the very bottom right-hand corner, okay? Then I'm going to click out to turn off my alignment tool, and I am going to click on the hole to select it. Okay, now, before I do anything else, I want you to look down here in the lower right-hand corner of the screen where it says Snap Grid. I want you to make sure that it is set to 1.0 millimeters. You can set it to all sorts of different things. We want it set to 1.0 millimeters. And then we are going to hit our up arrow 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That is going to move that hole up just 3 millimeters. I'm going to click outside. And then I'm going to rotate to look at the bottom of my project. I just am looking to make sure that I can see the hole coming through the bottom of the bookmark, which it is. That's perfect. I'm now going to draw a box around both items, and I'm going to choose once again the group button. And there we are. I'm going to click on our top, and you can see we now have our bookmark with the cutout to go over the page. Great job!